So in this section, we will talk about the electrical line of forces and electrical field due to a continuous charge distribution. Before, we have studied the electrical field due to a single charge.
Good morning, class. In the previous video, we have discussed about the electrical field due to a point charge. How a point charge, a single charge, create its electrical field around it, and how to calculate its strength. Now, what happened if the charge is not alone, but it is in the form of a certain distribution? Like it is, we can have a linear charged wire, we can have a charge sheet, we can have charged cylindrical body or any another body which is having some volume. So how the electrical field can be calculated in such a way, we'll see in this topic. So first, let's talk about the linear charge distribution. It means the charge is distributed uniformly in the form of a line, like a wire. You can see here we have a wire of certain length L, which is uniformly distributed charge Q. If you consider a test charge Q naught at point, let's say at point P here, whose position vector is R2, and in order to find out the force between this line and the charge Q, we consider a small element that is dl having a charge dq. Now just understand this part. The total length is L having charge Q, right? The total length is L having charge Q. But here we are considering a very small part, infinitesimal small part having length dl. So if the length is too small, then obviously only in this portion charge will be too small, that is dq. Whenever we use this dq, dl or df, it means we are talking about very small part, right? So what will be the force between these two? The small force df will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. Then what? Q1 Q2 upon R square. Then Q1 is nothing but Q naught. And Q2, we have taken a very small element having charge dq upon R square. And in terms of, if you take this position vector, it will become R cube R21 position vector, right? Now, here we use a term called linear charge density. Now, what is it? Linear charge density. Linear charge density lambda is nothing but it is the charge per unit length. That means dq upon dl. Okay. It's a quantity which is which represents the charge per unit length. For example, suppose we have a total charge of 100 coulomb and the length is 10 centimeter. Then what will be the linear charge density? That is lambda. It is charge per unit length, that is Q by L. So 100 upon 10 centimeter, that is 10 to 10 power minus 2. So from here we can find out the linear charge density. So here lambda is nothing but it is the linear charge density, that is charge per unit length. So we can replace this dq from the lambda. What will be dq here? So dq will become lambda into dl. So when you put this formula, this force df will become q naught lambda dl r cube and r21. Now what is the electrical force? Electrical field E, that will be equals to df upon q naught. So if you divide this q naught, we'll get dE is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught lambda dl upon r cube r21 position vector. So this will be the electrical field due to this uniform line of charge. Now similarly, we can have another type of distribution which is known as shear surface charge distribution. In this case, we have a thin sheet, a uniform sheet, and we distribute the charge on it uniformly. Now again, you can see here we have, I assume, a very small, infinitely small area element dA having a charge dq. The surface charge density, like in the linear part, we have linear charge density, charge per unit length. In this case, we have surface charge density. It is represented by sigma. That will be dq upon dA. So in previous case, we have charge per unit length. In this case, we have charge per unit area. So if you remember the result that was EdE equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught lambda dl upon r cube r21 vector. So similarly, here we can write the formula. Formula will become dE is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught sigma dA upon r cube r21. See, if you replace this position vector with the help of a unit vector, then the term r cube will replace by r square, because you know that r, this is nothing but position vector into magnitude of r. So don't confuse. I think in your book you have here r square, but along with r square they have the unit vector instead of position vector. I am using here position vector, not unit vector. So last we can have the distribution, which is volume distribution, in which the charge is distributed uniformly in 3D space. That will be uniform volume charge distribution. Volume charge distribution. In that case, we will have volume charge density. That will be again, it is represented by letter rho, which is charge per unit volume, dq upon dV. So electrical field will become here dE is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught rho dV upon r cube r21. So here are the formula which is help you to find out electrical field due to the charge distribution, because previously we have done the charge electrical field to a single charge, a point charge, but in this case we can find with the having a charge distribution over a surface. Next topic, we will cover the properties of electrical line of forces. So first, what is electrical line of forces, we'll see that, and what are the properties of electrical line of forces, we'll complete that. So let's see what is electrical line first, and then following the electrical line of field and their properties.